Hallo und willkommen zurück zum nächsten Teil der Archonten-Quest. Wir versuchen Akt 1 heute zu Ende zu spielen. Und wir spielen Prälidium von Blancheur und Noirceur. Lügen, die in dem Rampenlicht Schatten werfen. Und wir haben nach der Zaubershow ein bisschen festgestellt, dass nicht alles normal läuft und ich weiß noch nicht, was passiert. Ich habe auch gut versucht, die ganze Zeit, die letzte ganze Woche keine Spoiler zu sehen und so weiter. Das ist schon ziemlich anstrengend gewesen, aber ich weiß tatsächlich nicht mehr über die Archonten-Quest bis jetzt, als ich jetzt gesehen hatte. Und ich weiß noch nicht, was dabei rauskommt. Ich habe nicht das Gefühl, dass Lenny hundertprozentig unschuldig ist, aber ich glaube nicht, dass sie jemanden umbringen würde. Aber es kann sein, dass er einfach benutzt wird für irgendwas oder er weiß schon Bescheid über verschiedene Dinge. Ich bin noch nicht ganz sicher. Das ist wie Agathe Christie. Ich mag ja Agathe Christie, wo alle plötzlich in einem Raum sind und einer muss der Mörder sein oder so Cluedo-mäßig. Und ich habe früher gerne auf Nintendo DS, wer auch immer das noch kennt, gerne so Rätselspiele gespielt, wie dieses das erste DS-Spiel, das war so ein Rätsel-Novel Type of Game, also sowas wie, man hat sehr viel Text, sehr viel Story und man muss nur ein paar Rätsel auf dem Weg lösen und so. Und danach gab es ein Spiel, das hieß Hotel Dusk Room. Das war auch ziemlich krass. Das gefiel mir richtig gut. Das war auch richtig schwer. Ich muss mal kurz googeln. Ich glaube, ich habe das sogar noch im Keller. Das hatte auch verschiedene Enden, glaube ich. Und das war so schön gemacht. Das hatte so eine Grafik, die mir total zugesagt hat. Und die Story und die Charaktere waren so krass super. Und sehr stimmungsvoll. Und so ein Game hätte ich gerne nochmal gespielt. Deswegen freue ich mich jetzt auf ein bisschen Detektivarbeit. Das ist immer ganz cute. Jetzt machen wir mal uns auf den Weg zum Opernhaus zurück. Ich bin da ausgebüxt. Oh, es reflektiert hier schön. Wow, hier ist eine totale Absperrung. Das ist ja witzig. Bitte verlassen Sie das Opernhaus.
Sorry, but no one can freely enter or exit the Opera House at the moment. If you wish to leave, you must register your identity with us first.
No, we're not leaving. We're representing Linny and Lynette as attorneys, so we're investigating the case. Were you always guarding this entrance?
So, the missing girl couldn't have left from here. At least, not from that point on.
Und während der Show?
I doubt there was much opportunity then either.
How can you be so sure?
Well, because I was in charge of security near the entrance at that time.
Mhm, die sind akribisch, die Melodien, deswegen glaube ich daran.
I couldn't see Linny's performance from here, which was quite a shame. But still, I did not abandon my post. And I stayed put no matter how loud the applause was.
Ein- und Ausgänge. Niemand verließ das Opernhaus. Also es geht davon aus, dass jeder Eingang gleich ist, damit wir es verkürzen. Interesting. Oh.
Hey, you! Yes, both of you! Over here!
Oh.
I've been keeping an eye
Was
on
sind
you
das
for a
für
while
Typen?
now.
Das erinnert mich an Final Fantasy 7.
Huh? You mean us?
That's right. If I'm not mistaken,
Oh.
you're also among those who wish to cut down the thorns and pursue the truth. No? And by the looks of it, you're not from Fontaine.
Well, you're right on the more about that one, but who are you?
Bisschen.
Have you never heard of the Spina di Rosula?
Nope.
From mediating disputes and providing protection to solving conundrums, you name it, Spina di Rosula does it. And I, Navia, have the honor of being its renowned president.
Oh, sie hat Sternchen in den Augen.
Though those who play by our rules call me boss.
Oh. Warme Haare.
I'm Silver, her attendant. Pleased to meet you.
Hallo Silva.
And I'm Melus. Demoiselle's various daily needs and affairs are under my purview.
Oh my god, I smoked every day.
Huh? Boss? Demoiselle? What gives with the names?
Well, I am the second generation president. Malus and the others are still used to my previous title.
My apologies, demoiselle. Should you prefer, boss, I will endeavor to use that instead.
Die sieht aus wie Piratin mit diesem
No,
mit der
no need.
Deko da.
You don't have to call me boss.
Komische
Just
Auswahl.
Navia is fine. All merely trifling details. Never mind. Now, back to the situation at hand.
Back to the situation at hand. Das ist so der typischste Satz in Genshin, den ich schon von jedem gehört habe.
That's right. I've always kept an eye on the serial disappearance cases. My interest stems from a matter back from my father's time. Judging from the look of things, I find Linny an unlikely mastermind.
Really? We think so too. That's why we're looking for clues now.
Lasst euch nicht täuschen.
But how did you come to that conclusion?
Intuition, naturally. My unparalleled intuition.
Hey, so 2.0.
Farina was quick to point the finger at Linny without any decisive evidence whatsoever. But that's not uncommon for her.
Beweislastumkehr.
If you remember, the justice had to interrupt her and ask if she was pressing charges just to keep her from getting carried away. Anyway, a trial begins the moment someone levels charges. And, of course, there was no way Farina was going to back down in that situation. I must admit that she can be interesting at times, but liking her doesn't mean that I'll blindly agree with her. All right, I've answered your question. Now, it's time you answer mine.
Wait a minute. Did that answer count?
Well, I say it does. But don't worry, you won't hear any pointless questions from me. In your opinion, do you think it's right to treat a trial like it's an opera?
Well?
Nicht immer.
And why would that be?
Die Wahrheit wird zur Seite gewischt.
See, Silver and Malus? I told you they'd be different.
Most astute of you, demoiselle. I too think that the traveler's response was most excellent. No matter how wonderful the script or how fervent the audience's expectations
Yeah,
may
audience
be,
expectations.
the trials that go on stage here must be based in fact. And if that can be done, boss, then...
All right, that's quite enough, Malus. Anyway, I like
Sie
your
ist sehr
answer.
schick. Ich mag auch
You
ihre
pass with
Design
flying
sehr
colors.
gerne. Sie ist sehr bunt angezogen, also sehr, nicht bunt angezogen, aber sie hat so viel Accessoires und so viel zu gucken. Das ist sehr übertrieben quasi.
Oh, well, I can be the assistant. Sure. Or your companion, if you like. I'm really not that fussy.
That's more like it.
Sieht so aus, als hättest du ihr zugestimmt, Paimon.
Far be it from me to brag, but I believe that Demoiselle's intuition will be instrumental in uncovering the truth. You wish to save a friend from false accusations, and we wish to unravel the disappearances. In this sense, our goals are aligned.
Not exactly. Das ist nicht unbedingt der Fall, wenn der eine Unrecht hat. Vielleicht hat Linny was mit der Show zu tun oder nichts mit dem Mord, aber mit dem Verschwinden des Mädchens oder
What
andersrum.
about you over there? What do you think? You seem like you've got something on your mind.
I have nothing to add.
Oh, alrighty then.
We'll be making some preparations first.
Endlich ein NPC, der nicht reden will.
Just be sure to
Nee,
let us
Quatsch.
know if they start revealing Linny's tricks.
Let's go.
Speaking of that, I think magic shows would be very popular in Poisson.
Poisson.
I can see that. Maybe I should try to learn some magic. If I could make things disappear, cleaning my room would be a cinch.
You need not worry about such things, demoiselle. That falls under my duties.
Oh, der räumt auf für sie?
Oh,
Crazy.
right.
Ich frag mich, was ihr Background ist, wie sie Boss geworden ist. Und sie hat so einen Vaterkomplex oder irgendwie mit dem Vater zu tun zumindest. Okay, schauen wir uns nach Hinweisen. Wir müssen uns die Bühne noch anschauen, soweit war ich noch nicht mal. Also mal ein Foto machen. What am I doing here? Denkt der Traveler. Was mache ich hier gerade? Die Musik ist cool. So unbestimmt in der Luft. Treiben. Das erinnert mich sehr an Final Fantasy, ist die Musik auch.
too many thoughts yet.
Then why don't I tell you my hypothesis first? The way I see it, it all started with that loud thud.
The thud? Oh, you mean the sound that happened during the countdown?
Ich habe jetzt eine Theorie, und zwar, dass Linné und Lynette irgendwie sich verkleiden als aneinander. Also entweder, ich glaube, die Lynette verkleidet sich als Linné irgendwie und deswegen konnten sie die Plätze tauschen. Eigentlich haben sie ja nicht getauscht, weil der Zauberer ist dann weg gewesen. Ich weiß es nicht. Der war ja da schon drüben und die sind irgendwie, mit dem Trick weiß ich nicht genau, aber irgendwie durch den Boden ist Lynette auf die andere Seite gegangen und Linné war... ich weiß es ehrlich gesagt nicht, aber es war nicht seine Stimme in der Box. Vielleicht war er schon längst weg. War schon längst drüben.
Yes, exactly. It wasn't terribly loud, but I suspect that most people heard it. It's just that everyone was awaiting the results of Linny's trick with bated breath, so no one paid it much mind. But now that the incident has happened, the thud has become an important clue.
Und was denkst du, Isildur? Wer war's? Was war's? Ich weiß
That
nicht,
makes
was es sein
sense.
könnte.
So, what do you make of it?
I'm of the opinion that it may have been the sound of Linny's accomplice. Lynette, perhaps. Jumping atop the water tank or something like that. And when the pyrotechnics went off, she cut the rope, sending the water tank crashing down.
But wasn't the noise we heard too loud for that?
Perhaps the balance wasn't right, leading to a particularly rough landing. Oh, that's
Alles
true.
spekulativ, was er sagt.
I suppose I must reconsider.
That does remind Paimon, though. What was with that sound?
Vielleicht irgendwas umgekippt? Es wurde von allen Zuschauern gehört, deswegen wird es eine Rolle spielen können. Alright. Das sieht aus wie ein gewöhnlicher Schrank. Wie hat er gemacht, auf die andere Seite zu kommen? So, hier war die ganze Zeit dunkel. Und alle haben nach vorne geschaut. Das war ja der Trick, um... Ja. Also ich glaube, Lynette ist auch auf jeden Fall damit eingestiegen in diese Rolle. Sie hätte es nicht alleine gekonnt.
Well, we thought there might be a serious problem with the machine, so we had it taken away for further inspection.
It turns out that the seat number it picked wasn't random at all. The machine picks that same number every time. I'm sure you already know that you have to make a reservation in advance to get a seat, regardless of whether it's a trial or some performance. In other words, Linny knew who would be sitting where from the very beginning.
That much checks out. Linny reserved our seats for us, too.
Bet you see why I was saying it'd be tough to make a case for Linny.
Danke, wir stören nicht weiter.
Even though it's bad for Linny's case, Paimon had better write it down.
Es ist nicht manipuliert. Entweder sie wurde von jemand anders manipuliert, aber ich glaube, das war Linny, um seinen Trick auszuführen. In dem Fall. Esmond, wie geht's?
Go ahead, have a look around. In the end, we're both after the truth.
Ich mag Esmond. Ich hoffe, wir sehen ihn nochmal.
This is the rope that broke and caused the water tank to fall.
Obwohl es sind 4 gewesen. 4 Seile und die waren in der Mitte dann zusammengefügt.
The rope looks pretty durable. How can it be burned through so quickly by fireworks?
Und Linny hätte doch das Sicherheitsproblem erkannt, oder?
Why are you suddenly so serious, Traveler?
Ich schaue mir die Stelle an, wo das Seil riss.
Whoa. Look! This bit is made from different material! Most of it was burned away, but there's still a little bit of it left.
Sieht aus wie Zunder.
So if a rope meant to hold something was made with that kind of material in it, then
Jetzt schön,
that means...
es hätte runterfallen sollen.
Wait! Paimon should write all this down! What are you investigating?
Oh, this location has also been cordoned off because the magic troupe members are currently considered prime suspects. The seats were all booked in advance, so we were able to deduce the missing woman's identity by checking the guest list.
Kannst du uns das verraten?
Sure, it's not like this is confidential information. We will publish it later anyway when we petition the public to help us find the missing person.
Ja.
Her name is Halsey. She's a painter from
Halsey.
Fontaine who's made a bit of a name for herself.
Hase. Habe ich das schon mal gehört?
Apparently, she wasn't a regular at the Opera House, but she'd been feeling some pressure with her work lately, which made her decide to come see the magic show.
Woher haben Sie diese Info denn?
The magic troupe members all claim not to know her. We have looked into her social connections. It seems that she has no personal grievances or conflicts of interest with the suspects. Simply put, she wasn't related to the magic troupe at all, which matches the features of the previous serial disappearances.
Were the victims of previous cases also chosen at random?
That's how it seems to us, in any case. Apart from the fact that they were all young women of around the same age range, there really weren't any other connections between them.
Okay then.
Danke.
No need to be so formal. If you do happen to see the missing girl, please be sure to contact us. It is of utmost importance that we get to the bottom of these disappearances.
Sie sieht irgendwie, also sie ist doch eine Malerin. Vielleicht sieht sie trotzdem was mit der Diebin zu tun. Vielleicht ist die Schwester eine Diebin oder so. Ach, ich bin mir nicht sicher, aber sie
Checked
wurde...
everything of note here at the performance venue. Paimon wonders how Lenny's discussion with the guards is going.
Then I will be going with you. Just so you're aware, I will be monitoring your actions and making notes as necessary.
Very good. Thanks for being so agreeable. I'd pull a rose out of my hat as a gift for you if I could.
You may spare the pleasantries. I'm just doing my job.
You've arrived. Who's this? Me? I'm Spina di Rosula's guardian angel. If you've got a problem, I've got the firepower. Sorry, I got a little carried away
das
there.
eigentlich Söldner?
Call me Navia. I'm a partner of theirs, and these are my companions. Would you mind if they join as well?
Fine by me.
Oh, new helpers? I would be most grateful.
Well, let's just say we're tagging along. It's not every day you get to see the secrets behind magic performed on such a large scale.
I appreciate your kind interest. Come with me. We'll be heading below stage. I'm not trying to be dramatic. Remembering the details of a trick will help you understand the methods used to perform it more easily.
Huh. Weren't there balloons and other decorations here? Where did all that go?
Ah, good eye. That said, you're still far from discovering the answer.
The back? You mean the inside of the door? What's different about it? Paimon didn't notice anything.
Very good indeed. I thought you might not be able to catch that, given that you were sitting in the first row.
Also noch eine Tür in der Tür.
The back of this door was patterned. Those patterns are now gone, replaced by a smooth wooden board. So, if you put 2 and 2 together, what do you get?
Noch ein Schrank.
Exactly. All right, let's go. I'll tell you how it works as we head down.
Oh, so there was a passageway under the magic box!
Vielleicht gibt's noch einen Schrank.
I knew you'd figure out most of it as soon as you saw this place. The 2 magic boxes are positioned right above the 2 entrances of the tunnel. See this flatbed trolley? The box with the lucky audience member in it would be shuttled over to the other side using the trolley.
This trolley can raise and lower and even rotate, ensuring that the box will face in the right direction.
I see. So that's the purpose of the box inside another box.
Precisely. The inner box would descend after the audience member was put inside and be moved along the trolley, all while the outer box would remain on stage as if nothing had ever changed.
So that's how you did it!
Once the box was lowered, the trolley would store some energy through this device here, with which it would complete the rest of the steps.
Speichert der Rollwagen über diese Einheit etwas
The
Energie.
audience member would only be able to feel some slight movements in the dark, and by the time she walked out, she would already be back on stage.
Was ist deine Seite des Tricks?
Right! You were talking that whole time, and you even came out for a moment near the end!
Aufnahme.
Ah, yes. A phonograph operated by Lynette was used to achieve that effect. My assistant and I had already scripted our conversation beforehand. When the countdown began, I had already gone to the opposite box via a tunnel using that ladder.
And what about Lynette? Where was she?
Aber er ist ja nochmal 4 Sekunden vorher
I
rausgekommen.
was in the mezzanine space in the back of the box.
Oh, interesting.
That's how we were able to coordinate Linny's lines with the assistant. And by the way, I was the one who walked out of the box at the end.
I mean, we are twins. All it takes is a change of clothes and no one can tell who's who. And that's my favorite part of this trick. Only Lynette and I can perform it.
So that's how it all worked. Wow. Every detail you revealed was more amazing than the last.
Okay, wir sollten uns auf den Fall konzentrieren.
Lynette would briefly walk out of the box and then go back in, jumping into the tunnel and escaping before the box on the trolley could finish ascending. And then I walk out of the other box in the audience area, and the trick would be complete. But as you saw, Cowell was in the box, not our audience member. She, on the other hand, mysteriously vanished.
Also sie wurde unten hier rausgeholt.
We really don't know how that happened.
Could we have a look around? I think we can come up with some more leads.
This is the scene of the crime, so Linny and Lynette are not permitted to stay here. I'll escort them back up.
Yes, of course. No need to be so strict now. I won't disappear into thin air, you know.
Thanks, everyone. We're counting on you.
Hier ist umgekippt.
The floor is wet. Please be careful not to slip.
Speaking of which, why would there be water here?
Requisite.
Oh, Paimon knows. It's one of those tricks where you pour water into a jug and then flip the jug over only for the water to disappear. And here's a broken vase. Huh. Did the trolley knock it down while moving?
That can't be. The trolley moves along tracks from start to finish. It couldn't have hit the vase at this distance.
Let's note this down too and think about it later.
Interessant. Irgendjemand ist da noch rumgelaufen. Oder was anderes. Kleidung. Das ist cool. Macht voll Spaß.
These are the clothes that the lady chosen from the audience was wearing, right? Her clothes are here, but she's nowhere to be found.
Leni sagt ja nichts davon, dass man Kleidung wechseln müsste.
Right. And do you really need to do that if you're kidnapping
Was jetzt mit ihrer Brille passiert?
Ugh, this is so confusing. Paimon doesn't want to be a detective anymore.
Vielleicht war das Lynette auch. Kann nicht sein, oder?
What's this?
Ein
Looks
Hinterhaken.
like a hook tied to the end of a rope. Huh? There's all kinds of odds and ends here.
Er hat das nicht erwähnt.
Perhaps it was a prop for a different trick. But why would it have been left here?
Whatever it is, let's make a note of it first.
Ein Hakenseil ist, um Sachen zu ziehen oder sich hochzuziehen an die Bühne oder so. Interesting. Oh. Ein Lüftungsschacht.
What is this place?
It seems someone could fit through here.
Could this have been the suspect's escape route?
Alone, perhaps. But if they had to pull another person with them, the space would be too narrow.
Es sei denn, die Person ist freiwillig da durchgegangen.
But there are no other ways in or out of here.
Die Zauberschränke könnten es aufmachen.
Oh, you're right. Let Paimon write that down.
Aber der Täter kennt den Trick schon vorher. Das muss ein Assistent gewesen sein. Wahrscheinlich ist Cowell? Nee. Einer der Assistenten ist doch dann der Täter gewesen sein, falls es wirklich nicht von Linny und Lynette gemacht wurde. Um quasi zu wissen, wie der Trick funktioniert.
Seems to me that there are several things that don't add up here.
Apologies for the wait,
Ich glaube
demoiselle.
mindestens 2 Assistenten. Vielleicht sogar 3.
So, what did the guards say? Did the criminal escape through the vent?
They believe the odds of that are very low, since the vent leads to the Opera House's basement. The guards have checked the area carefully. No one left through the basement during the performance or after the incident, and no one was found hiding there.
So the tunnels become like a secret chamber then. You know, like the kind you usually see in novels.
Stimmt. Da kann man sich vorübergehend verstecken.
The plot thickens. Halsey's disappearance and Cowell's death are both quite inexplicable.
Vielleicht existiert Halsey existiert aber. Vielleicht wollte
No
sie
wonder Farina was
verschwinden.
so confident in her accusation. All the current evidence points toward Linny and Lynette.
In other words, the charges are very likely to be upheld unless we make some considerable progress.
Charges and then trial. So if the charges are upheld, they'll announce a sentence?
That's right. This is how a trial goes in the Opera House. During the proceedings, the Chief Justice and the oratrice will hear statements from both sides.
Die Maschine auch?
That's right. This is how indemnitium is produced. The statements from both sides, the defenses from attorneys, witness testimonies, and even the audience's emotions will all be projected on the oratrice. To put it simply, it's as if the oratrice has its own will and is a judge in its own right.
This also precludes any kind of favoritism on the part of the Chief Justice. Not that this has ever happened anyway.
Oh, erstaunlich.
Once both sides have finished speaking, the Chief Justice will make his final decision. This, too, will be used by the oratrice as a reference. Then, finally, the oratrice will be consulted by officials. The result it returns is the will of justice itself.
Huh? So that machine is the one that actually decides? Paimon thought Neverlet called the shots.
In practice, there is very little difference. Both have always come to the same judgment, which is why people have great faith in the Chief Justice.
Vielleicht nicht in diesem Fall.
Ah, yes, the
bin
guards
schließlich
also
dabei.
asked me to convey that none of us will be allowed to leave this place before...
Huh? Why?
Because we've chosen to act as the twins' proxies. That makes us persons related to the case.
They're concerned that we might be colluding with outside parties, or that we might find outside help to disrupt the case. And even if that were not so, it could prove problematic if we happen to spread key information about the case ahead of time.
I'm ready to break out at any time.
Whoa, whoa! There's no need for that! Paimon thinks they have a point. That said, are they providing food?
Of course. I just hope you don't mind the lack of options. I'm afraid that catering to all tastes is not in the cards, nor is
Paimon,
any
einen Tag
guarantee
ohne
of balanced
Restaurantbesuch schaffst du.
nutrition.
In that case, let's just sort out our findings together here. Pity. I was hoping to take you to try some of Fontaine's famous desserts, too.
Oh, danke.
I mean, what better way to properly think through our findings than over some tea and sweets?
Huh. Breaking out suddenly doesn't seem like such a bad idea after all.
Paimon.
Just kidding! Just kidding! Paimon will still do her best, even if there are no snacks.
What do you mean, no snacks? Of course we'll have snacks. If we cannot buy some, then we'll simply make some.
Huh? Here?
Understood, Demoiselle. Everyone, please come with me.
Okay, Opa macht ein paar Snacks in der Küche.
Wait, you're carrying a portable stove with you?
Wo bitte? Wo hat er das versteckt?
Yes, I must be prepared to meet the Demoiselle's baking needs whenever the fancy strikes her.
Oh mein Gott, sie ist Batman.
I have eggs, sugar, and
Batman.
almonds at the ready.
Was?
Good work, you two. Then I'll get to it. Please sit tight for a moment.
These three are quite the interesting group. And Paimon thought it smelled good while it was
Macaroons.
still in the oven. Oh, it's even better now. From the way you had these two guys carrying all that stuff around, Paimon thought you'd have them do more during the baking process. But you ended up doing the entire thing by yourself. Beating the egg whites, grinding almonds, everything.
I was applauding.
And I was giving encouraging smiles.
Paimon was just thinking. Aren't you worried about getting your fancy dress dirty, beating egg whites and
Well, I don't think it's carved in stone anywhere that fancy ladies can only read books, sip tea, ride horses, and play the piano. I just really enjoy making snacks. Don't underestimate beating egg weights, by the way. It's a real arm workout. You also need to beat them to just the right consistency, or your
Ich verstehe, was
macarons
sie
will
meint.
crack. Anyway, give these a try, fresh out of the oven. There's 3 for each of us.
No need for concern. I'm merely doing as I should.
Der Typ ist chill. Die sind lustig. Die sind alle in ihrer
All right then.
ihren
Down to
Blume des
business.
Lebens.
As Paimon mentioned previously, the tunnel seems to be something of a secret chamber. However, we can assume that Linny and Lynette were not alone within it. Some criminal also occupied its sealed confines. The magician twins could have committed the crimes, of course, but they lack any logical motive.
Was ist noch mit den anderen zwei? Aber es gab noch
Phone
einen
face
anderen
and the thud we
Assistenten.
heard during the performance could indicate some altercation between Halsey and the criminal in the tunnel, resulting in the shattering of the vase, the discarding of her clothes, and her abduction.
Hat sie ausgezogen?
Perhaps the criminal thought that since she was chosen from the crowd, she would be too easy to identify if she was still wearing the same clothes.
Paimon thinks that makes sense, but the real trouble is...
Gab es einen dritten?
True. None of the clues we found thus far support the existence of this third person. But the only people left to consider are both technically victims, whether it's the missing girl, Halsey, or poor Cowell.
Was ist denn mit dem... Oh, da war eine rote Maske und eine blaue Maske, oder?
Huh. Could Halsey have secretly made modifications to the magic props in order to murder Cowell before making her escape?
Nee, unwahrscheinlich, dass sie was wusste.
That's right. And even if she had tampered with the setup, she would need to understand the entire trick to pull it off. Nor does she have any motive. The guard said that she has never had any dealings with the magic troop's members.
Were we not thorough enough in our search?
Also sie kann sie ja nochmal danach verkleidet haben. Oder hält sie war von Anfang an Lynette?
From the sound of things, this is turning into an impossible case. Your macarons are amazing, though.
They are my specialty, after all. And I see you've already had 5 of them.
What? 5? Oh, that can't be right. Paimon only counted 3. Honest.
Please don't worry about it. At my age, a few less sweets might actually be a good thing.
No. Being greedy is one thing, but Paimon knows how to count.
Ah, verschwundene Macarons.
Besides, Paimon knows that if she ate too many, then others wouldn't have enough. Wait, even you don't believe Paimon? How could you?
Ich glaube ihr irgendwie.
If Paimon ate those 2 extra macarons, then may they turn into stone in her stomach.
All right, we get it. Well, I suppose one of us might have gotten too engrossed in our chat and eaten them by mistake. No big deal.
Hä, wo sind die zwei hin? Macht keine
Well,
Fortschritte bei
that's
der
it for snack
Diskussion.
time. I'm going to have another look around the area. I don't know what we're looking for yet, but we've still got some time. As attorneys, I suggest the 2 of you think the case over again. It would be awkward if you got all tongue-tied on stage during the trial.
All right, thanks for your help and for the snacks.
It was nothing. A small task for the Spina di Rosula. Silver, Maloose, it's time to go. I'll be back if I find anything new.
All right, it's time to put our heads together. We've got to get our defense ready for the trial. Oh, it's probably gonna be a long and difficult case. There's no point in worrying about that now. We just need to prepare. Here, take Paimon's notes. They should help you review the situation. Why would it be him? There was no third person. And Paimon didn't eat more than 3 macarons either. Well, there was no chance Paimon could have seen that the box had 2 layers. We all heard that noise, didn't we?
Ah, wir haben nicht alles. Oh, wir können nochmal in den Tunnel gehen. Das ist schon mal gut. Wofür ist der Enterhaken? Sie hat sich in Wasser aufgelöst. Wir haben noch nicht hinter den Vorhang geguckt. Eventuell. Und den Sitzplatz untersucht. Hier hört man Wassergeräusche.